miércoles y bienvenidos a Spring Spanish. Yo soy Cori, I am Cori, and I'm one of the Spanish teachers here at Spring Spanish. Today, we'll talk about one of my favorite Mexican celebrations. Dime, ¿te gusta celebrar Halloween? Do you like celebrating Halloween? I like it, but as a good Mexican, what I really like is El Día de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead. Many foreign people confuses the Day of the Dead, or El Día de los Muertos, with the American Halloween. However, even though these two celebrations come from the same root, let's say like that, which is All Hallows, our tradition, El Día de los Muertos, has been mixed a little bit with Aztec tales. Meanwhile, the Halloween is more mixed with Celtic tales and rites. Did you already know that? Well, just keep watching, because today I'm going to tell you 7 facts or curious things about El Día de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. So, comenzamos! Number 1. Día or Días, El Día de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead, despite its name in singular, is actually a celebration that lasts 2 días, 2 days. It is celebrated annually in Mexico every 1st and 2nd of November. This is a celebration for Vida y muerte, life and death. People who celebrate believe that the 31st of October, the souls of the deceased children come to the reign of the living to celebrate with us the 1st of November. And the 2nd of November is time for the adults to visit us. Número 2. Orígenes, the origin. The tradition has existed for around 3,000 years during the time of los Aztecas, the Aztecs. It survived through the 16th century, when the Spanish arrived in central Mexico and thought the celebration to be una blasfemia, a blasphemy. Luckily, instead of being abolished, the celebration evolved to incorporate some elements from la Cristiandad, from Christianity, such as the celebration to be held del 1º y 2º de noviembre, the 1st and 2nd of November, to match with the calendar and be celebrated the same day as Todos los Santos, All Saints, instead of its original date during summer. Veamos un par de oraciones. Let's see a couple of sentences. El Día de Muertos empezó como una tradición azteca. The Day of the Dead started as an Aztec celebration. La celebración consta de 2 días, el 1 y el 2 de noviembre. The celebration comprises 2 days, 1st and 2nd of November. Todos los Santos es una celebración cristiana para orar por los muertos. All Saints' Day is a Christian celebration to pray for the dead. Number 3. ¿Qué son los altares? What are the altars? Building the altar is perhaps the principal custom of this ancient celebration. Often decorated in vibrant colors such as naranja y morado, altars are piled with ofrendas, offerings, such as the deceased's platos favoritos, favorite dishes, velas, candles, flores, flowers y posesiones personales, personal possessions. Para las almas de los niños, for the children's souls, they leave these little skeletons made of sugar called Calaveritas. In many places, such as Pátzcuaro, the families build the altars right next to the grave. And nowadays, a lot of public buildings also put the altars. The preparations take months, pero los resultados son espectaculares. The results are spectacular. Veamos algunas frases. Let's see some sentences. Los altares son decorados en colores vivos, por ejemplo, el morado y el naranja. The altars are decorated with vibrant colors, for example, purple and orange. Las personas construyen altares para honrar a sus seres queridos. People build altars to honor and celebrate lost loved ones. En algunos lugares, los altares son construidos en el cementerio. In some places, the altars are built in the graveyard. Número 4. Number 4. Flor de cempazúchitl, or Mexican marigold, and el pan de muerto, dead spread. No bromeo. I'm not joking. I promise I'm not making up this word, cempazúchitl. But us Mexicans believe that this flower helps to our loved ones to come back to the world of the living. And since this flower comes out during these months, because it rains a lot, well, these flowers have been heavily associated to this tradition. This is a cempasúchitl. Also, the breath of death. Now, I promise you as well, this is not made of muertos, of a dead person. No. This is just a sweet bread shaped a little bit as a bone and with a slightly taste orange. It's very good taste, and I don't know why they only do it during these celebrations. Maybe I should start funding una nueva celebración, a new celebration. Veamos unas frases. Let's see some sentences. El cempasúchitl guía a los muertos de regreso al mundo de los vivos. Marigolds guide the dead back to the world of the living. El pan de muerto tiene forma de hueso y está cubierto de azúcar. The bread of death has a bone shape and it's covered with sugar. Número 5. Number 5. Las Calaveras or Calacas, skulls, and las Catrinas. Las Calaveras or Calacas, skulls, are clothed, decorated, and colorful skeleton figurines que estoy segura, I'm sure, you've seen but never knew the name for. While Calavera can loosely be translated to English as skull, a Calaca doesn't really have one. I guess the closest word we could use for that would be cráneo in Spanish, which means skull, but we only use this word for science or anatomy. It is not very used. During the Day of the Dead in some regions, Calacas are paraded dressed in long, sometimes regal and traditional Mexican dresses. And remember, this is all about honoring the life of the deceased before they went to the afterlife. Each year, hundreds of people dress as La Catrina, one of the strongest and most recognizable symbols of El Día de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. The Catrina is the tall female skeleton dressed with an elegant gown and a beautiful hat, sometimes with plumas y flores, feathers and flowers. La historia de la Catrina, Catrina's story, goes way back to the Aztec tradition. And back then it was based in the goddess of death. But nowadays it is a celebration again of El Día de los Muertos. Veamos algunas frases. Let's see some phrases. Durante el Día de Muertos, en algunas regiones, hay desfilas de calaveras. During the Day of the Dead, in some regions, there are Calaveras parades. El Día de los Muertos es acerca de honrar a los muertos celebrando sus vidas. The Day of the Dead is about honoring the deceased by celebrating their life. La Catrina era una diosa azteca de la muerte. The Catrina was an Aztec goddess of death. Número 6. Number 6. Compartir historias de los difuntos. Sharing stories about the deceased. One of the most evocative traditions during El Día de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, is the sharing of anécdotas y recuerdos, anecdotes and memories about the deceased. The joy for telling funny tales comes from the notion that the deceased would rather be remembered con alegría, with joy, rather than somberly or with a sadness feeling. Ahora veamos. Now let's see. Contar anécdotas y hablar de los muertos es una costumbre del Día de los Muertos. Telling anecdotes and talking about the dead is a Day of the Dead's tradition. Nos gusta recordar a nuestros muertos con alegría. We like to remember our deceased ones with joy. Número 7. Number 7. El perro xoloitzcuintle es una guía al mundo de los muertos. The xoloitzcuintle dog is a guide to the region of the dead. You might have watched the film Coco by Disney and seen Dante the dog. La raza de este perro, this dog's breed is xoloitzcuintle. This is a pure Mexican breed, and as a characteristic, they don't have fur. In the film, Dante the dog joins Miguel in his adventure, wait a minute, spoiler alert, to the death dimension. The Aztecs believed that to access the region of the dead, a big river needed to be crossed, and the deceased will be helped by his dog. Now, if the deceased, being alive, was good with his dog, he will help him. But if this person was mean with their dog, prohibido, forbidden to get in. Now let's see some sentences. Los aztecas creían que los perros ayudaban al alma. Aztecs believed dogs help the soul. El nombre del perro xoloitzcuintle es una raza difícil de pronunciar. The name of the breed xoloitzcuintle is a difficult thing to pronounce. Muy bien, ¿qué piensas del Día de Muertos? What do you think about the Day of the Dead? ¿Te gustaría asistir a una de estas celebraciones? Would you like to attend one of these celebrations? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you are ready to dive deeper into the Mexican and Latin American culture, what better way than by learning Spanish? Feel free to check out the other spring Spanish videos in our channel. We also have a free, more in-depth Spanish training on our website where you will discover the method that we use in our Spring Spanish Academy to have you speak in Spanish super rápido, super fast. So, just click in the link below if you are interested. And eso fue todo por hoy. That was all for today. Thank you very much and gracias totales. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and share the video with your friends.